Welcome back. In this step, let's see how to get the details of a student associated with a passport. I'll copy the test which is written already. So I'll copy retrieve student and passport details, and I'll rename this. So I'll say retrieve passport and associated student. And let's try and retrieve this passport. So the way we would get the passport is simple, right? So instead of student, I would say passport in here. This would be passport.class, and the ID would be little different. So let's see what the ID should be. Let's open up the data.sql and see what the ID of the passport is. So 40,001. I'll pick this up from here. So I would want 40,001L. This is the organizing ports, and over here this is not student anymore. This is passport. And the associated student with the passport is this. So student is passport dot get student. So this is exactly the reverse of what we were doing with the student. Earlier we were trying to get the student and trying to get his passport. So to get the student, we were using the entity manager, and to get the passport, we are using the relationship that we have defined between the student and the passport. Here we are doing the reverse. The most important difference in here is over here student is the owning side of the relationship. So student owns the column passport underscore ID. The passport underscore ID column is present in the student table. So that's why it's called the owning side of the relationship. However, if I look at the passport, it has the one-to-one relationship defined, but we have this mapped by attribute. What the mapped by attribute ensures that in the passport table, the student ID column is not created. So passport is not the owning side of the relationship. The column would be stored in student, but this at one-to-one annotation gives us a way to navigate from the passport to the student. So even though there is no column associated with this, this gives us a way to navigate from the passport to the student, and this is what is called bidirectional navigation. Let's now run this test and see what would happen. So I'm running this test, right click, run as JUnit test. Test succeeds, that's very cool. However, what we are interested in is really what's happening in the background. You can see here that we are first getting the passport details, we are getting the student details, and you can see that the passport details are being printed out, passport E123456, and the student details are being printed out as well. From the passport, we are now able to navigate to the student. In the last few steps, we focused a lot on the one-to-one relationship between student and passport. We have now a bidirectional one-to-one relationship in the sense that I can navigate from student and say student.get passport and get his passport details. And also from passport, I'm able to navigate back to the student as well. All that we had to do was to define a simple relationship at one-to-one over the owning side. I'm saying just at one-to-one. On the other side of the relationship, we just put a mapped by in addition. So we say at one-to-one with a mapped by, mapping back to the variable that we have defined in here. I'll see you in the next step. We would be moving on to the other kind of relationships. Until then, bye-bye.